Hey everybody, if you're catching this, you're catching the replay. So I was on Pinterest and I saw a layout and I loved it. It was this rainbow watercolor layout and I'm like, you know what? This would be perfect to recreate with the April stamp of the month. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the April stamp of the month and we are going to do some block stamping. So block stamping is pretty simple. Whatever size block you want to use, you just ink it up, spray it with some water, and then you get to work. So the colors that I've selected for this layout are going to be these pretty soft palettes. So we're going to use Lemon, Lilac, Pixie, Lagoon, and Glacier. And the Glacier is going to come out a little gray, but it works out in the end, I think. So I played with this a little bit yesterday, and I'm just going to kind of show you the basics of how it's going to go. And then I have one that's already finished, and we'll catch that afterwards. So what we're going to do is I've got my work mat here that I'm going to be able to kind of spray on, or it won't matter. I'm going to ink up my blocks just like this. Just get a nice coverage on there. I'm just going to take a spray pen. Can you tell I've been playing today? And I'm just going to be generous with my water. Just kind of play with it, let it go over. I'm going to bring over my paper and I'm just going to kind of squish it through. Doesn't that look good? It looks great once it dries. And now I can move on to the next color. I just need to find my faithful. There we go. And so now I'm going to come in with Lilac. Now what I didn't do on the one that's dry is leave some white space, and I really want to leave some white space between each color. I think it's going to help break up the space on it. So I'm just adding that ink to the block. We're going to spray it with some water. Again, you can just be generous with this. Let it play around. It kind of doesn't even look like there's anything on there, but trust me, there is. And it's going to feel like it kind of suctions to the block. And that's what it looks like. It looks so good. It totally looked like there was nothing there, but obviously there was. Wipe this off, and I'm going to move on to the next color. And we're just going to do this until we kind of fill up the paper. I'm going to come in with some lemon now. This is going to come on really bright. But this layout is super, super, super cute when it's all said and done. Super cute. Nice and generous. I love it when you can use different Ooh, that was really nice. Look at that. You can use different supplies for different techniques. Kind of like, you know, getting more bang for your buck. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a Glacier. And again, this one's going to look like I don't even have anything on it, especially once I put the ink on, or the water on. That's just how the Glacier is. It's just a very light pastel color. I'm just gonna move that around, bring it in. Look how nice that looks. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Rebecca. So now I'm going to show you how I took it from this to this. Isn't that gorgeous? And then you can just put your little picture down here. And all I used was the April stamp of the month to create this page. And so I'm going to show you how I just kind of put those things together. And let's get started. Okay, so I have my Versamat right here, and I have it flipped over so I can use it as a stamp cushion, so that when I'm stamping, I get a nice even stamp on here. I'm going to do first some layers of leaves in the background, and I'm going to use this really nice floral, it's not floral, it's foliage, it's leaves, in a willow. Okay, so we're going to start with that one. And I'm just going to grab a little block, open up my ink, and what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of creating some background for my flowers and my butterflies to sit on. And it will look so cute when I'm all done. So get that nice and inked up, and I'm just kind of randomly stamping this. See how nice that stamps when you're using this mat, especially on this a big 12 by 12. Like the little cushions that come in with your stamp set are nice for the cards, but the Versamat is really good when you're stamping on a large surface like this 12 by 12 sheet. Again, so I'm just going to kind of come in and maybe put one for each block of color and just randomly place it in there. Let's see. So bear with me as I build up my background. And we'll come in up like this, and maybe in like that. And I might want to put more in, but I have to wait and see because I still have my leaves to add in and my little flowers and stuff here. So I don't want to start with too many of the backgrounds, the foliage at first until I start to build. On the first one, on my sample right here, I used the Pixie ink, and then I also stamped in the Pixie ink. But for this one, I did the same base color, so this is Pixie, but my April Stamp of the Month images are in Raspberry. And so I thought it would be really fun to still do the pink on pink, but maybe just something a little bolder. And then I went ahead and did the next lilac base in Pansy. And this is Lemon, and I stamped these out in Canary, except they look a little mustardy because I didn't clean my stamp all the way. This is Glacier, and so I'm going to throw in some Emerald. And then I have my Lagoon, and I'm going to throw in some Peacock, which I'm pretty sure that that's... So I just fussy cut those out after I stamp them, and then we're just going to build those up. And I think it's going to look gorgeous. I love the contrast of the light and the dark, and this stamp set is just perfect for doing things like this. So I'm going to start by using this as a starting spot as I build up my flowers. And first, before I put anything down, I'm just going to sort of place these on here in just a random pattern until I get what I feel is going to be beautiful and the way I like it. Oops, look at me go. And I like keeping these guys together because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to stamp my leaves down. On my first one, I fussy cut them, and I stamped and fussy cut and then adhered them down, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them down. And I also want to get a good placement for my butterflies, because if you can see, when I fussy cut these, I cut their body and their antenna off so that I didn't have to worry about capturing those. So I'm going to create a base by stamping my butterflies in black first, and then filling their bodies in with a journaling pen. Trust me, it'll all come together. You will be like, oh my gosh, I have to try this. So I just think this is, like I said, I'm just kind of putting the placing in so I know where to do my base stamping. So the April Stamp of the Month is has some really cute sentiments. It says happy times, cherish the moment, I so totally love you, you're my favorite, and love this. So lots and lots of cool things that we can do to add some sentiment to this when we go ahead and do that. And then what I'll do as I go through, I will pop up my big flowers so that they have some sort of dimension to this. So I kind of like how this is playing out here, and I know that I can come in. I don't really feel like I want to stamp any more of these in, although I could, it really wouldn't matter. But I do know that I want to put some leaves in through here. So what I'm going to do is, here's one of the leaves that I would like to use, and I'm still going to use that willow ink. I think the willow ink is very striking, and it just really pops really well. And this will also help me when I go to adhere down my flowers. So I'm going to put it here, so I'm just going to move these really quick. And it stamps nicely. And then when I pop these up, I have that foliage in there, those leaves, and I don't have to worry about fussy cutting those out, and it still looks really good. So I'm going to come in with a small leaf and sort of do the same thing. So I'm just going to put him on an angle over here like this. And now I can start adhering these down and putting my 3D foam tape on so that I can do that. And I want this here, so I just need to grab my butterfly stamp. Isn't he gorgeous? I love the little detail that's in here. And what's really fun about this stamp is if you stamp this in black on colored paper, as you can tell that I'm searching for a little black. Stamp him in black on cardstock, colored cardstock paper, and he's automatically colored in on the inside. So I really love that about this little detailed stamp here. And then if I could just, you guys, am I ever going to be 100% prepared for any of my tutorials on here? I just need my black ink. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, okay, so I know that I want him here, so I'm just going to go ahead and ink up my black. See how detailed that is? It's so pretty. I mean, I know that you can see it there, but... And so I'm going to have him come in here and just do a straight down, straight up. And then now, when I put this on top, I have that shadow effect, and I can use my journaling pen to fill his body in on here. Really quick. It doesn't have to be anything super glamorous. It's just to kind of fill in the blanks. How cute is that? And then I will just use my liquid glass. This is a sneak peek. This is a new item that comes out May 1st. You have your liquid glass bottle. Look what they have designed. I love this. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it off and you have to twist it. Look at this amazing tip. Like, it's so controlled now. I just absolutely love this. So what I'll do is I'll put a little dab down here. You can't get this till May 1st. I probably should not be showing it, but I love it and it is what it is. And then I just putting it in a little in the center, and then when it dries, I'll pop his wings up so it has a little bit of dimension in there. But it doesn't take long. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I love these interactive pages like this. So I'm gonna do, just gonna go ahead and adhere this down. By the way, if you don't have this, this is in stock now. The Close to My Heart adhesive is back in. Grab yourself some, it's amazing, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna put him over here. And then I'm gonna put some foam tape on this flower. Not foam tape. These are little foam squares. I apologize. It's been a long night and I've only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. And so this is just a really great way to build it up so it's not all single layer, and it kind of connects those butterfly wings since those are a little 3D element in here. And there. He just goes like that. Now, I have lots of little stamps. I have a solid butterfly that I can come in and stamp wherever I want. I also have another flower I can come in and stamp. So that's a great way to fill in all of the little blank spaces with the extra little stamps that are in here. But I won't do that right now. I just kind of want to build up the main pieces and then go from there. So I'll do the same thing right here. I'm going to put my placement down, find out where I like everything. I like my flowers here. And I just want to figure out where I want some more foliage, leaves, if you will. And I think I'll have the leaves come off this way and I'll have one come over here. So I'm just going to come in with my big leaf. See, he's going to be on top. And I just inked him in black. It's such a good thing that I totally looked before I did that. I've already got some cleaner on this stamp, so I'll clean him really quick. I'm using that willow ink. Okay, and I'm going to come in right into here. And I think I'll do it one more time and just in a little bit. Just for that. Oh, I love that. I think that looks good. And it's whatever you like. So if you don't like the leaves, don't put the leaves on there, right? If you just want a page full of butterflies, do a page full of butterflies, right? So as you build this up, when you get finished with it, one of the things that you can do is you can grab your really beautiful shimmer pens, shimmer brushes, sorry, they're shimmer brushes, and you can do a little splotting with it. And so what I mean by that is you just take your shimmer brush, and I used black, and you just tap it, and what you'll do is you'll have this little effect right here where all of this splatters and it makes it shiny and so pretty throughout the page, and that's what I've done here. Okay, and so I know that I want my butterfly. Let's put him over here, and I'm going to stamp him in the black again. And we'll put him here, straight down and straight up. I'm going to color his body, just so that he kind of fits in. And then we'll add just a little bit of adhesive that comes in right here and line him up. I'm doing this at an angle, so hopefully he's lined up pretty good. Of course, you guys are probably seeing this somewhat upside down. There. Perfect. And then I can add in this guy maybe over here, or I can flag him in anywhere I see fit. I think I'm going to stick him right there. Okay, so I'm going to continue building that up until I work myself down, and then I can come in with my little stamps. So if I have this little flower and I want to add in some, fill in some space over here, I can come in with my raspberry, because this is pixie, so it's definitely going to stand out. So then I can just kind of fill this in as like a little floater over here. As it dries, it will lighten up and it will look really pretty and stunning as it kind of brings everything together. Let's say I'm done with this. I'll show you how that little shimmer works. So just tap it in like this. And then as that dries, you'll get that glitter look. And then it will all come in. And then when you're finished, you can add in a little picture holder. I have just put in a 3x4 photo, and I just cut some scrap paper down. I added some glitter paper and put it down here, and I've stamped "I so totally love you," and then "cherish this moment" down here. And I waited to do that until the very end so that, you know, I knew where I was going to do all of my placement at. But this is just coming together so nicely. Those butterfly wings are sticking up beautiful. And I've got my 3D elements here. I just love it. I think it just looks great. I love this concept. I love this idea. So I'm going to keep working on this. And it's kind of like, I feel like sometimes it's watching paint dry when you watch somebody do this, and it's interesting. I could watch someone craft, I feel like, all day long. But I'm just going to continue building my scene here and adding my stamped leaves until I am satisfied and happy with how it's all turning out. And just be careful not to do what I did, which is stamp stamping your inks in the wrong color. And I'll bring this guy in here, and now I can adhere him down. I love this April stamp of the month. It reminds me of another stamp, and I just can't put my finger on what stamp it reminds me of that we've had in the past. And this canary that I used right here that looks a little mustard, like I said earlier, it's simply because I didn't have my stamp completely cleaned off when I did emerald. And so you're seeing what canary and emerald look like married together, and my stamp set, and my pad has a little bit on it, so just scrape that off later. I can show you how to do that in another tutorial. And so we'll just add him in here like this, and we just are going to just keep doing this through the whole process. You know, it's definitely a little bit of labor of love, something like this. because it just takes some time. Oops, let's color him in first. You know, and it's placement and it's how do you want it to look kind of deal. And so we're just giving him a little bit of a body so that when I put him down, it kind of all goes together. See if I can fill, oopsie, just moved it too much. Fill that in a little bit. There. And then as that dries, I'll be able to pop his wings up, and then I can just kind of add in these different things. And I don't mind meshing, like, okay, this is going to come into the glacier a little bit like this. You see how that raspberry, it's dried now and it looks so good over there. You know, on the little ones, on the little butterflies, you could put adhesive just in the center and kind of get that same effect as the big ones, you know, by popping it up that way. So there's also that option. And I'm going to build this one out here like this and put in my leaves. I really like how the leaves stamped directly on versus fussy cutting. One, it's a step saver, if you will, because you're not, you know, fussy cutting it out. But two, I really like how it's flat. You know, that single layer dimension. That is even a thing. Single layer dimension. Is that a thing? It is now, right? Anyways, I like how that looks. You know, you start popping these things up. And of course, you can pop up as much as you want. You could pop everything up. You don't have to necessarily leave it flat. Oh, I love that. And then we'll put him, let's see, that butterfly's going, so we'll put him going this way. And I'm so sad because this stamp set is done. It's over with. It's no more after April 30th. And I'm like, oh, I love that, you know, sometimes we have just a little bit of time with them, but I'm so sad that it's going to retire that quickly. And so I'm just adding that journaling, black journaling pen to the top of the butterfly so that when I adhere him down, he kind of matches the top and bottom. That way I didn't have to fussy cut him out. I didn't have to fussy cut the body or the antlers out. Antlers? Not antlers. Those are definitely not antlers. Antenna. Oh my gosh. I definitely need some more coffee. So let's just add a little bit of adhesive. Let's try it with this one first. You can see how nice and controlled that is. I love this tip. And we'll just try him there. A little popped up, right? And then I can come in, like I said earlier, clean this off really quick. And I can come in and I can add flowers as needed to fill in the little blank spaces. There's a couple of different sizes. There's even this little itty bitty tiny one, which I didn't even use on the first one that I did. And he would be great for just filling in. He's so cute. And it kind of fills in those spaces and just keep it, what I'm trying to do is keep the colors, you know, on that block that we created in the first video. And if you miss that, just scroll down. It'll be on the other video feed through the page here. Okay. And so I think we'll come down this way, maybe up like this, and then we can do our leaves this way. I like that. And pop him up. Perfect. I like that. I think that's going to look great. And it's just really, it's just how you, as the crafter, you are the artiste. It's how you love it. Like if you want more or less, then put more or less on. You know, there's no wrong way to scrapbook. There's no wrong way to make cards. There's no wrong way to junk journal or any of that fun stuff. Let's see. maybe right here. Okay. And then we'll put this butterfly going straight. Thank you, Barb. I'm so glad you popped in to watch. Oh, I said straight and then I put it on an angle. Hey, I guess I'm living dangerously. I'm not even following my own suggestion rules. Adding in that body. Perfect. And then I can add in get my glue down to the bottom. Try not to get my head in there. And there he goes. Now when I fussy cut these out, I made sure to leave a white border. And this is why I felt that this is my first one. When I cut it really close to the image and I didn't leave that border, it kind of just dropped into the background and it blended in. And I wanted these things to stand out. So as I moved along and fussy cut the rest of them, I left that white border to kind of, except for the butterflies, because I had cut those all out first. I left that white border so you have that pop. You know, it kind of just is like, oh, right here I am. And you can see on this one, you know, I popped up both of the flowers versus this one where I didn't pop up both of them. And I think it's okay to kind of play with it and do what fits your style or needs. So you can see where I did that. So I'm going to add a little bit more to this one and just set him here. And then what I can do is I can come in with my stamp. This is Peacock. I'm going to kind of fill in a little bit of the blanks here, just like I talked about a little bit earlier. You know, I can put this in however I see fit. And I might even, to be honest with you, come in with an additional flower right here. I think that would really fill things in if I brought in another flower. I'm not sure if I'll stamp it or if I should fussy cut it. Thanks, Barb. But I definitely need something else here. And this guy's ready for his wings to pop. I love the shadow effect, you know, that you have under here when you do that. Let's fussy cut this really super fast. I think that I'll be pleased if I do that. And I think one extra flower on the bottom is just what is needed. I used my stamp positioner when I stamped all of these so that I could stamp them multiple times without moving it. That is just what works for me. And I am just a very sloppy fussy cutter, and that's okay. I love it. I don't pay too much attention to how I do it, but if this had a die set with it, ooh, buddy, you bet your bottom dollar I'd be using that die set, because those die sets are my friend. For real. Okay, so we'll add him in right here. I think that's perfect. And let's give him some leaves so that he doesn't feel so naked. And I'll put a leaf going out this way. And let's add a little leaf. Where did he go? It's right here. Do I want him here or up here? I think I'm going to add him here. Perfect. We can adhere him down and he's good for gold. So you can see now that as the ink dries how these kind of blend in, but they still pop up. And here they are, and they fill in those little blank spaces really nicely. I'm going to come in with some more of my black shimmer brush, and I'm just going to tap it. Because I know for sure that I'm not going to put any, should be very careful so I don't get that in there. No, I'm not going to put any elements over here. You know, this is all going to stay here, but I am going to bring in my photo mat down here for my 3x4 photo, or I could even bump that up and do a 4x6. because a 4x6 would be really cute on this right here. So I actually like that. So let's go ahead and bring in the long sentiment, happy times. And of course, let me just put that right there for a second. I need my long block. One day, I promise, one day I will be 100% got all my stuff together. Yeah, this one will work. This is not the one I was looking for. I was looking for a different one. But I'm going to stamp this in black, and I'm going to put it right down here at the bottom. I know it's crooked on my block. That's okay. So I've got ink on my block, so I want to make sure that I don't rock this, because if I rock it, that's going to smudge over on everything, and then I'm not going to be very happy, and my whole project is just going to go right out the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off this block, kind of give myself some room for error. And I know that my picture is going to go approximately here, so I'm going to stamp this right down here. Happy times. Perfect. They came through gorgeous. Now, if I wanted to, I could bring in some colored pencils, some watercolor pencils, and I could color these in. I think, excuse me, staying true with the theme with the white accenting, I think I'm going to leave that as is, but I definitely am going to come in with this little stamp right here, which says, love this. Okay. And I think I'm going to put it, let's see. Yeah, I'll put it right here. I think he's super cute. Just clean my block off because I got some willow ink smashed all over it. And I'm going to do it in black again. So I know that this is going to be here. I know that I'm probably going to put a photo mat over it. So I'm just going to kind of come up a little bit. You know what? This has kind of got like a little bit of a corner on it. And so I feel like if I do this, it's pointing at nothing. So, I'm going to scratch that. I'm not going to use that. And, I'm just going to go with You Are My Favorite. I have 4 kids, so I'll have to make 3 more of these. Because obviously someone is going to be looking at this from years to come in their book, and they're going to be like, seriously, you were Mom's favorite. You are my favorite. Perfect. Now I still have plenty of room to put my photo mat down, and I can add in some of the beautiful glitter paper, which will accent that shimmer brush. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging on so long. I hope you have fun with your April stamp of the month. If you are interested in it, shoot me a message and I can tell you how you can make one yourself, get one yourself, and you guys have a great week. Bye.